Today I am going to discuss about the signal transmission through linear time invariant systems. In this lecture, first I would be discussing the conditions for distortionless transmission, distortionless propagation through an LTA system. Then I will take a practical system, an RC low pass filter. Then I discuss about different types of ideal filters and ideal filter characteristics. Here I am showing the block diagram of the LTA system whose impulse response is h of t, small h of t, and whose frequency response is capital H of omega. And in time domain, the input and the impulse response, they convolve with each other to produce the output. In frequency domain, the input spectra multiplies the frequency response of the system to produce output spectrum. So these are substituted in R theta form here. So this is what we have, the relation in frequency domain, and if we substitute R theta form, we'll get this relation. Then collecting the similar terms, we have two relations here. One is relation between the magnitude spectra of input and output, and the relation between the phase spectra of input and output. So here the magnitude spectra multiplies, whereas phase spectra will add up. And here if I take the phase response of the system, which is a function of frequency, and if we differentiate this phase response with respect to omega, and if we add minus sign, this is defined as the group delay. This is defined as the delay of the particular frequency component. This is the delay of the particular frequency component. That means this group delay or delay of the system, it depends on the frequency component, and from frequency to frequency this will change. Next, let us consider a telecommunication channel where a message signal is transmitted over the channel and output is received at the receiver and converted to usable form and delivered to the user. So for example, if you take the speech signal, you have to convert the speech signal using microphone, amplify it and modulate it to a higher frequency, then transmit over this channel, and at the receiver end, which is output waveform, means at the end of the channel, that is at the input of the receiver, you feed this signal. This is a replica of the signal, it is not exactly the same signal, replica of the signal, and you try to get back the message signal. Okay, but because the channel is an LTA system, it is assumed the channel is an LTA system, it causes or it manipulates, it tries to manipulate the input signal to produce a new output. However, our requirement is the input signal must be transmitted so that the output is not distorted. It means the output should be the replica of the input signal. That is what we want. So the transmission is said to be distortionless if the input and output have the identical waveform except for the scaling factor. There could be some gain for the signal and or delay. So there will be delay, there will be a gain or loss. Mostly it is a loss attenuation. The scaling factor is less than 1. So whatever you have transmitted, it will come down in amplitude at the receiver, and there is a delay because of the transmission delay of the signal. So that is what two parameters here are involved. One is the input X, which is transmitted at the transmitter, is delayed TD, and it is also multiplied with a scaling factor which is equal to the attenuation happened in the channel. So if y of t output equal to k times x of t minus td, then you can say that the channel is distortionless. Channel means LTI system. It is distortionless because here it is only a constant. The gain is only a constant, and here the total waveform is delayed. So this waveform x of t, for example speech, it will contain so many frequencies between 50 Hz, mostly 50 Hz, to 4000 Hz you can take, or 3400 as per the copper wire transmission channel. So these frequencies which are contained, a band of frequencies are contained because it is a speech signal. So speech signal contains a band of frequencies, and all these frequencies, these components should be delayed by same amount. I mean, they should arrive at the same time. That means if at all there are some differences, the time differences, that is phase differences among these components, same phase relations are maintained at the receiver. So naturally the group delay, the total waveform will reach the receiver as it is, except for the constant delay which is applied for all components. Okay, so that is what this condition. So here in terms of frequency spectra, let us take the Fourier transform of this equation to get the Fourier domain equations. Here capital Y of j omega equal to k, and this is a shifted in time. So the original spectrum of the input signal will be phase shifted by this much amount, because here I am talking about at a given frequency omega. So this is x of j omega is at a given frequency, and this is at the same frequency. What is the phase shift? Because this delay produces a phase shift term as per the properties of the Fourier transform. Now k multiplied by e to the power of j omega td, I can consider this as the channel's frequency response, because this is going to multiply with this to get the output spectrum. So basically what I am saying is this k and this one both you can replace with h of omega, correct? You can replace with h of omega, so that capital Y equal to capital X into capital H. And if I take this relation, magnitude, if I consider, this is the magnitude of the frequency response of the LTI system or channel. It is constant, independent of It is independent of all frequencies. It is constant at all frequencies. So you can consider this, the system is all pass system, all pass channel. All frequencies are equally attenuated by the system, or equally passed, equally given, all frequency components are given the same gain. And if you take the phase spectrum, it is a linear phase. That means corresponding to this delay, as the frequency changes, the phase also changes. So if the phase changes linearly, you can guarantee that the group delay, that is the arrival of the envelope of the total waveform, because the message is contained in the envelope only. Okay, so that envelope has the constant delay as we discussed earlier here. Okay, see the cursor here. This is what it is, a constant delay. If you want to get constant delay for the total waveform envelope, you need a linear phase for each component. So if you mathematically also, if you differentiate this equation, and add minus, and you will get the TD constant. That is what I told now. And pictorially, I can say that absolute of H omega is nothing but K. It is constant for all frequencies, 0 to infinite. Then this is the phase, which is linear phase, but it is a decreasing phase. So why it is decreasing? Because there is a minus sign here. So there is a minus sign here. So this is a minus sign, and same minus sign is here. So it will, the slope is negative basically for this. Now consider an RC low pass filter, R equal to 1 kilo ohm, C equal to 1 nanofarad. 1 nanofarad. Okay. Then what is the time constant? Time constant is RC. 1 by time constant, 1 by tau, or 1 by RC is nothing but 10 to the power of 6. So let us call this as by a variable A, and we know that the Fourier transform or frequency response of this system. What is the Fourier frequency response? How you get the frequency response from the input and output? So this is input spectrum and this is output spectrum, and this is the system, our system. This is nothing but H omega. This is nothing but H omega. So now this H omega equal to Y of omega divided by X of omega. Output spectrum divided by input spectrum. Okay. So output spectrum is a complex quantity. Y is a capital Y is a complex quantity. Denominator is also a complex quantity. So H of capital H of omega is also a complex quantity. That means I have a magnitude frequency response and phase response. Okay. So this is what you can find it from the circuit theory, and the A by A plus j omega is the frequency response of this system, and the magnitude response is given by A by square root of A square plus omega square. And here, when I consider lower frequencies, that is omega is very much less than A. What is A here? 10 to the power of 6. So RC time constant 1 by RC means 1 by time. So this has the radians basically. So you can say that 10 to the power of 6 radians, very large value, 10 to the power of 6 radians per second. So this is what you have the angle. This is nothing but angular frequency, and our omega we are considering is very low frequencies. So hence, because this is nothing but a low pass filter, so I am interested to talk about the pass band, which is at lower frequencies. And when I consider those lower frequencies, I have a condition satisfied is omega very much less than small a. That is the condition. In that condition, so this will go away, and a by a you will get 1 here. So the gain of this system or the magnitude response of the system is constant, that is 1. That means compared to general expression, the small k equal to 1 here. Now let us consider the phase spectrum. When I consider the phase spectrum, I have a minus tan inverse omega by a, and omega by a is very small compared to 1. So I can take very small. This is tan inverse theta is very small, and tan theta equal to theta for lower angles. So I have tan inverse theta equal to theta. It is approximately equal to theta for this condition. Okay. Now let us differentiate the phase spectrum with respect to omega to get the group delay. And if we differentiate, this is what we get: a divided by omega square plus a square, and where because it is small, very small compared to a, this term will go away. Then I have 1 by a. So 1 by a is nothing but 10 to the power of minus 6, because a equal to 10 to the power of 6, 1 by a is nothing but 10 to the power of minus 6. So this is the time units basically, and this is constant. And how much this is? This is nothing but 1 microsecond. Basically this is 1 microsecond. That means the given circuit has a delay of 1 microsecond. That means when you give the input to this RC filter, the output appears after 1 microsecond. So that is the meaning of the group delay. So very small delay, you cannot even perceive that. Even few milliseconds also you cannot perceive. So 1 microsecond is a very small quantity, so it appears as if the output is instantaneously appearing immediately after the application of the input. So this is what is shown is the magnitude response of the RC low pass filter, and its value is maximum 1, which is occurring at omega equal to 0. So you can, if you substitute omega equal to 0 in the magnitude spectrum, what was the magnitude spectrum here? So this was nothing but h of omega magnitude equal to a by square root of a square plus omega square. Correct? This is what we have. And when I substitute omega equal to 0, so I have 1 basically. Okay. So this is nothing but h of 0, capital H of 0 equal to unity. So that is what is shown here. This is the one here. And from there, as omega increases, then the denominator value increases, and the total value of the fraction, that is gain, will come down. So that is what you are seeing here. It will come down and slowly it will come down, and this is what you have. Okay, and at A, when omega equal to A, this is the value, and when omega equal to 2A, so this is the value, omega equal to 3A, this is the value. So the gain is almost becoming to half. Okay, so it is becoming to half. Now what about the phase response? Theta h omega is the phase response. It is basically a nonlinear curve. At omega equal to 0, if you take, it is appearing as a constant. Constant means linear, constant slope, and a linear segment, a line segment up to this. So this appears linear. This portion is appearing linear. We have drawn a tangent at this point. This is the dashed line, that is omega minus omega by a. So it is nothing but your theta. So as this theta decreases, it goes towards 0, then you will get more non-linear, more linear the curve appears. But here we are interested in low frequencies. So let us say up to this omega naught. I want to consider omega naught frequency, and at this frequency if I take, this is what I have. So this is the portion of the phase response I am considering. It is absolutely straight line. So this is this portion I am showing in blue color. So up to this portion is very linear, and we can say that within this, between 0 and omega naught, between 0 and omega naught, this filter has a linear phase. What is omega naught? You can consider this as probably cutoff frequency. Okay, cutoff frequency of the filter. So this cutoff frequency means above this frequency, the power is less compared to the lower frequencies. And okay, so in this, between 0 to omega naught, the gain is also approximately equal to unity. That is what. Okay, so where is this shown? This is what is shown. This is correct. See here, magnitude response I am drawing in the blue color. So this is almost constant. Similarly, the phase is almost linear in this portion during the very low frequencies where I am interested in. Okay, now in this portion, because it's linear, if you differentiate this, you will get a time delay which is again constant. This is the constant time delay, that is equal to 1 by a. So what is this one? 1 microsecond. We have calculated it to be 1 microsecond. This is nothing but 1 microsecond. Okay. Now for these characteristics, we want to find the highest bandwidth of the signal that can be transmitted through this RC filter without much distortion. And in that condition, I want to compute the system response also. That means output of the things. Okay, so this is the problem in hand. One is, what is the highest frequency of the input signal this system allows without distortion? And for that condition, what is the output signal? So this is what I have reiterated the problem here. So this is what the highest bandwidth you want to find and the output signal you want to find. So what are the maximum values? We know that the maximum value of the gain equal to 1 and time delay equal to 1 by A. And what are the tolerances given? If the tolerable amplitude response variation is 2%, 2% means originally it is 1 and 2% error means it can come down up to 0.98. Okay, so 1 to 0.98 it can drop. Beyond that, if it drops, you will get a distortion. Okay, so that is what is told in the problem. And the time delay variation is 5%. That means if 1 by A is the delay, this delay can reduce by 5%. That means this maximum value multiplied by 0.95 up to this delay. Even if delay is reduced to 95% of the maximum value, it is okay. Okay, and under these conditions, the magnitude response should be greater than or equal to 0.98. It cannot be less than that, and the group delay must be greater than 0.95 by A. So that is what at omega naught, because this is the omega naught which would be, we have to find, we are supposed to find the omega naught for which these two conditions are satisfied. Okay, now substitute for h omega and substitute omega equal to omega naught in that equation. Then you have this condition. This yields, this gives, this expression gives omega naught should be less than or equal to 0.203 multiplied by A. And this is nothing but, because you substitute for A is nothing but 10 to the power of 6. Substitute, this is 203 thousandths radians per second. Similarly, if I substitute omega equal to omega naught in the time delay expression, and I get omega naught should less than, omega naught should be less than or equal to 0.2294 A. So A, if I multiply, that is nothing but 10 to the power of 6. So I will get 229,229.4 thousandths. Okay, that is the radians per second. So out of this, I mean, the magnitude condition is satisfied for this omega naught, and the phase condition is, phase means time delay condition is satisfied for this omega naught. So we have to take the lesser one of this, because if I take maximum of this one of the conditions is not satisfied. So I have to consider omega naught which is at which both of these conditions are satisfied. So that is nothing but lesser one. Lesser one is nothing but 203,000 radians, 203,000 radians per second. Okay. Now this is pi naught, and this divided by, you divide this by 2 pi, you will get the linear frequency that is nothing but the 3.2308 kilohertz. Okay, that means 3000, approximately 3200 hertz. So this is what is the, this is the highest bandwidth of the signal. So if the signal, input signal contains highest frequency of 3200, 3200 Hz or less than that, there is no distortion. If the signal contains more than this, let us say 4000 4000 Hz, that means 4 kilohertz, or 3.3 kilohertz also. 3.3 kilohertz, 3.4 kilohertz is more than this 3.23. Then that signal will be distorted. That means the higher frequencies will be distorted, and you cannot tolerate at the output. Okay, that means output undergoes considerable distortion because of the higher frequencies. Okay, so now let us say it is the limiting conditions, that is the tolerances are met. In that case, our time delay is a constant, that is TD. Group delay is constant at 1 microsecond. So that is the input signal is only delayed now because it's a distortionless transmission. So output is nothing but the input delayed by 1 microsecond. So that is what is the conclusion for this system. Now consider filters. Filter is nothing but a frequency selective network. It is an LTI system. Basically, it is nothing but an LTI system. It passes certain range of frequencies and it attenuates other set of frequencies. So that is what you have here. And the filters are classified according to their frequency domain characteristics as low pass filter. That means lower frequencies are passed, higher frequencies are attenuated. High pass means higher frequencies are passed, lower frequencies are cut off. Cut off means they are highly attenuated. Band pass means a band of frequencies are passed, and below this band and above this band the signal is highly attenuated. In the same way, when we take the band stop filters, a band of frequencies are totally attenuated or highly attenuated, while the neighboring frequencies, all the neighboring frequencies are passed except this stop band frequencies. And the most useful filters, you can call them as LTI systems, because if the filter is not an LTI system, it is not going to be useful for us as a filter in our practical applications. So naturally, any system should be linear time invariant. Most of the times it will be satisfied. Now let us consider the ideal low pass filter. So this is the characteristics of ideal low pass filter. I have a cutoff frequency here, W, and above W all frequencies are totally attenuated. That means the gain is minus infinity, you can say, or the gain is 0. And here between 0 to W means on the other side, if you take two-sided spectrum, it includes minus W also. Between minus W and plus W, all frequencies are passed with constant gain, that is 1. And phase is a linear curve. So basically, if it is a linear curve, basically we can guarantee that it gives a distortionless system. Basically, it won't produce distortion. That is what you have to see. And here, mathematically speaking, the h of j omega is given by a rectangular box, and its phase is e to the power of minus j omega t. Okay, because it's a linear phase. Now, if I take the inverse Fourier transform for this, I will get, because it is a rectangular box function and the inverse Fourier transform will be a sinc function. So the sinc function is given by this equation, and the shape of this looks like this. And when I see here, this is the TD delay. So it is delayed by TD. The middle of this middle point of the impulse response is delayed by TD, but the theoretical width of this waveform is infinite, minus infinite this side and plus infinite this side. So naturally, uh, for t less than 0 also, there is some tail. Some of the impulse response is occurring for t is less than 0. So what it means, this filter cannot be a causal filter. So causal, if it is not a causal filter means you cannot physically realize it. You cannot build real filters based on this one. If you want to build, you have to cut down this negative side tail of this impulse response, and you should try to design the filter. Then the filter becomes causal filter, and you can realize it physically, realize in reality. What about this? I mean, same thing. It is the shown as a box here for a low pass filter, and this is the linear phase. And band pass filter, if I take, this is the band of frequencies, that is fc plus or minus w. These frequencies are passed in the same way other side also, negative side. And during the pass band you have the linear phase, and during the stop band, this is the stop band. There is no phase because you are not, the filter is not operating at all. It is not allowing any frequency. So the phase shift or phase characteristics of the filter doesn't matter in this stop band. Similarly, if I take ideal high pass filter, this is pass band and this is stop band, and this is pass band where you have linear phase, and it goes to infinite. It goes to infinite like this, and this side also it goes to infinite because it is a high pass filter. And this is nothing but your stop band. Stop band is at the center. In this case, in this low pass filter, high pass filter case, the lower frequencies between minus W and plus W are attenuated, higher frequencies are passed. Okay. Then band stop filter. Band stop filter means whatever band we have taken earlier, that is fc plus or minus W. So these are stop, and pass bands are there above and below this stop band. This is pass band, and the other side also pass band, and within this band it is stop. So it stops all these frequencies in this band. It passes all the neighboring frequencies. So where is the pass band here? Pass band is at the center. So at the center you have the linear phase, and this is the stop band here. This is stop band. So the phase curve is not shown in the stop band region because it is immaterial for us. Then this is again another stop band. That is negative side, this is positive side. So in the stop band, the linear frequency characteristic, it doesn't make any sense for us. So what are the characteristics of ideal filters now? Ideal filters have a constant magnitude response. Generally we take it as a normalized one, that is unity in the pass band. Then they have zero gain in the stop band. We have seen from all four types of filters. Then the ideal filters have no transition between the pass and the stop bands. For example, if I take a low pass filter like this, the edge is vertical here. This is pass band, this is stop band. Correct? This is stop band. I am writing SB, stop band, and I am calling this PB as the pass band. So what is the transition here? The transition is, there is no transition. Stop band and pass band both are touching. So this vertical edge, the edge of the box is vertical, infinite slope. So I can say that there is no transition region. It is not slowly changing. The filter response is suddenly changing, instantaneously changing from pass band to stop band. And what about the phase? Phase must be linear phase always. So that is the linear phase characteristics. These are the characteristics of ideal filters, and naturally these properties are not realizable. So ideal filters, they are meant for analysis purpose. If you want to compare two systems, you can compare with the ideal filter and you can evaluate these systems. Okay, that is the reason ideal filters are used. Okay, so I mean, they are basically ideal one means basically not realizable ones, not real ones. That is the meaning of ideal. So thank you for your attention for this lecture. In the next lecture, I am going to discuss about the practical systems and the conditions needed for realizing these real filters or real systems, and what are the conditions imposed on the frequency response of the system. That is what we are going to study in the next lecture. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.